The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Welcome to the SWBC Mortgage Living Room in Frisco, Texas. I am Shannon Gross, and I have a bunch of guys that I don't even remember their names on the show with me because it's been so long since we've been together. Man, that was a long break, and I tell you what, if you look at the hat today, I've held off as long as I could. I delayed my plans to Mexico, but today it's tequila sunrise, and I am booking my flight and getting the hell out of here in January, boys, because the season is over. I had so much hope going into this past weekend. This past week, I really thought they were going to turn this thing around, but I can't do it anymore. I can't defend this team. I can't. I wanted to have hope. I was clinging. I was willing to give up a top 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 draft pick for them to win the division, and they let me down, man. They let me down, and it's just it's time to look to next year. And you know what? As much as I want to get on Nate right out of the show and talk about his
try me.
Zeke,
I want y'all to try Nate.
No, it ain't your day
brother,
today.
my shoulders are big enough, and I'm putting my head in the screen right away, Jesse. I want you, Shannon, Kurt.
No.
Hey, bring your wives and your girlfriends too.
No.
Trailer park, Jesse. Yes, sir. Because I want to know. I want to know first and foremost what upset you the most about this game. Can we get that out of the way, Shannon?
That's what we're doing, because we're going to talk about Jesse Holley's boy, Coach Mike. Coach Mike. Now,
come on.
Can you defend? Because all our fans talked about after this game was the coaching. Here's the deal. You asked for it for 9 years when Coach Garrett was here. They know what the play we're calling before it's called. Blah, blah, blah. Now you got a guy that's rolling the dice. You got a guy that's giving you what you wanted, Cowboys fans. You're gonna get burned sometimes. So you know what, Jesse? Defend him.
A lot of times.
Defend him, Jesse.
Now, I don't have to defend Mike McCarthy because here is one of the greatest reasons why people outside of the DC for life community hate Cowboy fans so much, because they're so fickle. They flip-flop on you at every single turn. And for 10 years, we begged and begged and begged for something more creative and something more innovative and something more unpredictable. Oh, and now you get it.
You got it.
All of a sudden, when it doesn't go right, it's
you don't want it.
A terrible call. How awful are you? Fire him.
There's a difference between being unpredictable and switching things up and then game management.
I stand fully behind. Listen, initially, I was like you fickle fans. Okay, you Nate Nathaniel. I was like you. I was like you, Nate.
Freaky Mike.
I was like you, Nathaniel. When they did the whole fake punt thing, I said, "What are they doing?" And then I went and looked at it, and by golly, the play was perfect. The play was perfect. They got the look that they want. They got the guy who they wanted open. Cedric Wilson so when Mike McCarthy says it was a solid play design, he was absolutely right. Hindsight is always 20/20, even to a blind man. And that's the risk that you take. That's the risk that you take when you have these kind of plays. Because had Cedric Wilson done like he did earlier in the year and actually threw the football like he was supposed to do, we all would have been doing the Sam Cassell, the big kahunas dance around here saying, oh my God, look at Mike McCarthy and Bones Jones. They took a risk and it worked, and it might have catapulted that team to a victory. Now I get it. It didn't work. So because it didn't work, you got to take the egg on the face and deal with it. But make no bones about it. It was a well-designed play. It just didn't go. It wasn't executed well, but the play design was there. And the only critique that I have for Mike and Bones Fossil in that particular moment is this. As a guy who was a career special teamer, captain of the special teams on all 4 core special teams, every week we were going into, when we played against Devin Hester, it was like, hey, we're not kicking it to Devin Hester. No need to play with Devin Hester. Guys like that, you say, listen, no, there's no need to have this prideful thing and say, we could tackle him, and then he runs it back 90 yards on you. So we're not even going to play with Devin Hester. You knew what coaches, when we played Paul Westphal, when he was with the Jets, we knew he liked to bring pressure to block punts. That's what we knew he likes to do. Not Paul Westphal, but last name was Westphal, I forget his first name. Bones Fossil, everybody is always on high alert whenever there's a punt because of his history. You're on high alert before the first punt is even punted. When you get on the field for punt return and the Cowboys are punting, you're already yelling, alert, alert, alert fake, a watch fake, be alert for fake. So you'll see most teams don't even rush to block the punt because of his history. He doesn't have the surprise element anymore because his history says at any given moment, I will fake punch you more than once, more than twice. And so that sometimes takes a little bit of the surprise element from the fake punt because of who the coach is in his history. But Mike McCarthy was absolutely right. It was a well-designed play. Cedric Wilson just executed it poorly.
See, I wonder, though, do you think that play was designed where the first read was the punter? And that wasn't open, and so now you're asking a wide receiver running with chaos in front of him in front line to make a second read, which he's just maybe not capable of doing.
No, in that particular situation, you're always going to go deep guy first, then back down to the safety valve, which was the punter, then to you tucking it and running it if you don't have anything available. But your first option on fake punches is you're not going for the safety throw, you're going for the gusto. So it's big play first, safety valve, tuck it and run.
You ever watch the Crosbys?
The Cosbys or the Crosbys?
Yeah, the Cosbys. You ever watch the Cosby? However you want to say it, black or white, however you want to say it. You ever watch them? And Theo,
that was my family growing up.
And Theo would talk to his dad, and he would give him all this intelligent garbage. And at the end, his dad would look at him and say, if you ever try that foolishness again, I will beat you to death. That's if you ever try that again, we will collectively, when we're in that RV traveling to Tampa, we'll beat you to death. I don't care how intelligent you sound. Bad play.
Because it didn't work. It's a bad play because it didn't work. That's the only reason it's a bad play.
Was the right play to call that deep in your own territory when you're only down by 4?
I think that was where they tried to have the surprise element at. I think anywhere else, they thought that they would have the surprise element of no way they fake it this backed up. And again, hindsight is 20/20 even to a blind man.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
If it works, we're singing their praises. It doesn't work, and so now again, you have to. This is the sword that you have to fall on as a head coach, because nothing. And now this may be different, but from all the time that I played, and I know it's probably the same for you, Nate. Anytime there was a fake anything, onside, fake anything, any type of stuff like that, it had to get the okay from the head coach.
Head coach.
You just went out there saying we're gonna do this without.
And your head coach went to his defense too, saying, "Hey fellas, this is a real likelihood. We need you at your best." But when our coach went to us, we had a top ranked defense that was rated number 1. So
I said, I didn't get the impression maybe McCarthy trusted his defense, so he's trying to, like he said, he wanted to steal a possession, but I don't know. I don't quite get it.
Guys, you watched that game, right, Kurt? Did you trust that defense? Would you have trusted that? We gave the Washington Redskins 41 points.
Yeah, but three of those touchdowns were in the fourth quarter. I mean, again, it was only 20-16. It was a close game. I'd much rather have them trying to march, 60 yards than 20. Or
Look,
whatever.
I had less of a problem with them pulling the fake punt than I did for them going for it on fourth down, because I thought, to me, that was too early in the fourth quarter. Like, you were still in the game, and by going for it on fourth down in that position, you're basically like, if you don't make it, you're saying, okay, we're losing this game. That's where I had a bigger problem with that than the fake punt myself.
The thing is that bothers me, and when I see games like this that are played so close, and then Zeke did what he did, and that's the possession they lost that coach was trying to get back.
Mm-hmm.
When you as a player seem to don't understand the importance of the game, we knew that they had a very, very unique defense with the four guys up front. And we should have known, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, guys that handle the ball a lot, that this was one game we could not fumble because their offense was equal to our defense. So if we could just play them tick for tack, we make a win the game. We didn't do that. And so I understand what Jesse's saying. I'm having fun, but guys seem to don't understand the bigness of the game. We sitting here on this show, I think, a little more hype last week than our team was in understanding what needed to happen.
No. Don't put me in that equation. You three was a little bit more hyped about this team. Don't put me in that equation, because I wasn't.
Then you have the unfortunate untimely death. Okay, on top of that, you miss a practice. Okay, Coach Johnson, I knew how he would handle it because I've seen him handle it before. Everything has to slow down, and everything has to be played by the numbers. You get your first down, you leave it alone, you don't do nothing spectacular. You let your physical ability play within itself. And so now you put the coach in a position where he's thinking he's losing the game. He's thinking the longer they stay out there with the offensive line depleted the way it is, that this defense, which was getting better and strong as the game went on, you don't need to press. You were in the game. You tried to steal back a possession that you lost earlier, but you were still in the game down by 4. So, I like the joke and jive, but
I guess
we cannot have that. We can't have that as coaches, and we can't have that as players.
Yeah, I guess that's what maybe bothered me the most. In some ways, I felt like they started panicking, and maybe they started taking more chances when they didn't really need to. So, but you may be right. I mean, maybe the defense, Washington's defense, was going to hold them, and they didn't feel like our defense could stop them, and so they felt like they had to. But I don't know. In some ways, I wish they would have kind of trusted the system a little bit more, and instead of trying to trick it up.
I have this is the question I ask before you go, Shannon. This is a question I ask. Stop. Okay, if it's 4th and inches, isn't a quarterback sneak more logical? Isn't giving it to your back more logical? Okay, you threw the ball. Okay, you had one-on-one coverage. It worked for Kansas City last night, but it ain't been working for the Dallas Cowboys. Difference is 9 wins, 10 wins versus 2 wins. You see, better players. But better players get you better analysts. What's the word? Analytics. Better players. That's who set up all these great analytics. It's these great players. The bad teams will never get set up that way. So we have to understand that
2 different charts. Analytics for good teams, analytics for bad teams. Should a bad team do this, or should a good team do this?
Yeah, I'm with you, Shannon.
My question for y'all, this is for the group, is I think this coaching staff. Look, I don't have a problem with them tricking up the play calling. I think the situations in which they've been tricking it up have been questionable to me. Like when you're still in the game, you're only down one. You're only down one score. You got the whole fourth quarter to play. Like you said, Nate, throwing it. Why not put Blake Bell in there? That's all he did in college. Just get him to get in there, run some people over. Like quarterback sneak. Like I don't have a problem with them tricking it up and going for it and risking it, and reading the analytics and things like that. I think the play calling, the situations sometimes don't really make a lot of sense to me. But is this coaching staff, like Kurt said, it seems like they panic a little bit sometimes, or they're afraid they're going to get down too quick and they have to do something dramatic to make up for it. Is that what we can expect out of this coaching staff next year and the year after? Or is this team so bad and they recognize that they're trying to make up for it by swinging momentum with one play? Or is it just going to be like nonstop chaos every year, even when this team improves?
Nope. And I say this because, one, you're going to get better players on defense next year, and you're going to have a new defensive coordinator. So that will improve somewhat defensively. But
wait, you said a new defensive coordinator?
Jesse already fired the coordinator.
Wow.
Listen, there has to be some. Jerry, Mike, and all those involved understand after this year, there has to be something done this offseason as far as coaching that needs to twist this thing up or switch it up a little bit. So Mike McCarthy hired the homie. The homie didn't do well, so he's probably gonna be relieved of his duties this coming offseason. That is my prediction when it comes to Mike Nolan, because this defense has been historically horrible all year long. I mean, all year long. Not even a chance in a lot of these football games. The second thing is this could possibly be the way that we get Mike McCarthy to do what we hired him to do. Because sometimes you have to let things play out so that people see when you go to make that change. So, and I say that to when the offseason comes and Mike McCarthy goes to Jerry Jones and he goes, hey, listen, I appreciate the kid. We can still leave him on the staff, maybe quarterback, maybe, some sort of analyst or whatever, and continue his development for whatever you want to do down the line with him. But I'm taking over play calling. What we've seen in a lot of these games, he had two good games, Pittsburgh and the Vikings, where Kellen Moore called two good games. Outside of that, we've seen Kellen Moore and his inexperience rear its ugly head far too often. And you saw again, Kellen Moore panicking, trying to do too much, overthinking some things, trying to get too cute sometimes. And it just, it hasn't been what we thought it was going to be. We thought we were getting a Sean McVay or a Kyle Shanahan. Instead, we were getting something that it didn't live up to the hype. And you've after 2 years, and we're still seeing the same kind of pattern with Kellen Moore. It shows you that, okay, I didn't pay Mike McCarthy all of this money to come in and do things for my franchise, only to keep it in the hands of the kid who has been panicking in these situations. Let me give it to the guy who has some experience and let Kellen Moore learn from there, because it's completely different than Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy being in a meeting and coming up with plays and putting plays on a call sheet, opposed to the person in the moment calling the plays that are on the sheet. It's completely different from the two. So I think this might be the way that we see, actually now we get Mike McCarthy to do what we hired and was excited for him to come here. We were excited for Mike McCarthy to come here because of his play calling. So now there's evidence on film that says, you know what, guys, next year I'm gonna take this thing over and call plays the way that I want to. We'll keep Kellen Moore around, and we'll find a job for him. But the OC position will come back to Big Daddy, to Freaky Mike.
Big Daddy. All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, maybe we'll let somebody else talk besides Jesse. We'll see. I don't know.
I enjoy Jesse, man.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh, good stuff, Jesse. Great.
No, Nate, we're going to come back and talk about Zeke and his fumbling issue.
Way to go,
Uh-oh. All right. Hang with us. We'll be back.
I hope I don't come up with that intelligent nonsense.
You don't want to.
You better have something.
Theo.
You don't want to miss this next segment. This is a new segment we're going to do on Hanging with the Boys. It's called Who Did It Better? When we come back, after this break.
Is your family a Cowboys family? Have you taken holiday photos at the Star? Was your wedding theme blue and silver? Have you convinced your kids them is spelled with a D? If so, every game day feels like a vacation to you, so treat it like one. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com. Proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Just like all of you, we at Zeke can't wait until we're back in the stands at full strength cheering on the Cowboys and singing along to our favorite songs again. We're using this time to make discovering, buying, and selling tickets to events in Dallas easier. Plus, every ticket purchased on SeatGeek is protected by our buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back or better if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. Download the SeatGeek app today, and when the time is right, let's go. SeatGeek.
Grab some OtterBox gear and get ready for Hanging with the Boys. From rugged venture coolers to tough as nails elevation tumblers, we've got what you need to keep your game day drinks frosty and your football feast ice cold. And with cases, screen protectors, and power accessories, you can defend your phone and stay connected to every play. Gear up at OtterBox.com and amp up the fun of every Cowboys game. That's OtterBox.com.
Dear, it's 1908. Don't you think we should get electricity?
And stop using candles to see at night.
It's just electricity lights up the room fast. It's more reliable than candles blowing out, and people seem to love it nationwide.
Well, candles are...
Dear, did you just run into the wall?
Nope. May I have a new candle, please?
Historically, switching to new technology is a no-brainer. Today, it's AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure, and nationwide. Switch to AT&T 5G. It's not complicated. 5G requires compatible plan. May not be in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Back to the SWBC Mortgage Living Room, Frisco, Texas. And if you're watching the game in old basketball shorts or baggy sweats, you're an amateur. If you want to relax like a pro, upgrade to the comfort of Tommy John Loungewear. It looks awesome and feels even better. It's got pockets for snacks and is machine washable for any unpredictable nacho cheese spills. Shop loungewear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 15% off your first order. TommyJohn.com/Cowboys. My wife has confiscated my Tommy John pants and will not give them back to me. So I have lost those forever.
The little pants?
What's that? Yeah, the little pants. The little pants. All right, we got a new segment here on Hanging with the Boys. It's called Who Did It Better? And we've got a couple of clips here that Chris Beam is going to roll. So, Chris, I don't know if you want to tee them up for us or just let them roll. I'm not sure what capabilities you have there from the studio, but however you want to do this. Let's do Jalen. Yeah. So here we go.
Snap is back. Little pressure. Pumps. Over the middle. Intercepted. Jalen Smith. 45, 40. Coming right. Jalen Smith down the sideline. 10. And tripped at the 4. That's what I was talking about.
That was Jalen Smith on Thanksgiving Day getting tracked down from behind and tackled, which might have cost the Cowboys the game. Who did it better, Jalen Smith or this guy right here? Let the
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. Y'all better not.
He's got Holly all alone at the 50. Holly to the 40. Holly to the 20. Right to the 50.
Both of them almost made it to the end zone. Both of them got tackled at about the 1 yard line. That was our very own Jesse Holly getting tracked down from midfield at the 1 yard line. I want to know, Nate, Kurt, who did it better? Who did it better, Jesse Holly or Jalen Smith, by failing to get in the end zone when they had a wide open streak down the side of the sideline?
Jalen Smith came after the game and said,
I got to score.
I was looking at the guy inside to my left. I didn't know whether to cut back behind him, so I slowed down, or should I just speed on to the end zone because I didn't know if I beat him to the pylon. Then all of a sudden, this number 17 come out of nowhere to catch me, and that's why I didn't score. Okay, Jesse, what was your excuse?
Oh, I ran out of gas. Monkey jumped on my back. I'm not gonna say. Godzilla jumped on my back, my brother. I'm not gonna tell you no lie.
He had a speedster chasing him too, so give him a little credit.
All I'm saying, the guy chasing me ran a low 4.4 as well. I know right. McLaurin ran 4.3, but the guy chasing me was the number 8 overall pick coming out of Ohio State that year. He wasn't a slouch either.
Okay,
I will give you this much credit, though, Jesse.
Mine did set up a game winning.
Yes, I was gonna say
we won.
You won the game.
So you did it better, huh?
That's right, and I helped birth Dan Bailey. Remember what Dan Bailey was to us? He was he was cut the greatest field goal kicker of all time.
He was going to get cut after that game.
You high-five Dan Bailey. I said
Dan Bailey missed the field goal earlier in the game that we wouldn't have had to have that play if he would have made it. So I gave him the second chance and the confidence that birthed what we had in Dan. We had a surefire. Remember those times? I don't know if you remember, Nate. Sometimes your memory goes off and on. I don't know. A lot of hits to the head. But there were a time where we had no issues and worried about extra points for about a 3-year span from 50 in. Man. We had Dan Bailey, we had Money Bailey, and your boy Jay Holly birthed that.
Okay. All right. Love you for it.
Thank you.
Did it better.
All I want is my flowers while I'm still alive. That's all. Give me my roses while I'm still alive.
Jesse Holly did it better. So there you go, Jesse. Just wanted to relive that moment. That's the first thing I thought about when Jalen got caught from behind. I texted Chris.
That's dirty, man.
We got to play that on the show.
Jess, he called me.
That's dirty.
He called me and said, hey, man. He called me and Chris B. You think I should get Jesse with that? I said, don't tell Jesse. Just pop it on it.
Oh, that's dirty. I'm sitting here watching. He's like, he do it better. He's like, this guy. I'm like, what else do you have to compare with? And I was like, oh, snap. That going there. All right. That's good. That's good. There you go. Shannon, that's good, brother. That's good. That's a good one. I got to give you that one.
We love you. All right, let's talk about what are we going to do with the offensive line, fellas?
No. Let's talk about the running back. Let's go right to the running back.
Oh no! I tried not to.
Yeah, let's talk about the running back.
Let's talk about the running back.
All right.
You want to speak about inconsistency. You want to talk about. The owner says this is the best player that we have on our football team. And the thing is, I like him. I have no qualms against him. But Nate, you really make me dislike people, or I shouldn't say people, the play of people, by the way that you just continue to hype this dude up. He literally has more fumbles on this season than he has touchdowns. He has hurt us more than he has helped us this year. He finally got a 100-yard game a week ago, and we're like, okay, maybe this may be the ice breaking, the ceiling breaking on Zeke, and we're about to unleash the guy. He's about to run all over Washington. Nope. What does he do? In a critical moment of the game, he coughs up another one. Your boy, that's your boy, Nathaniel. Your guy, Nathaniel, with another fumble in a critical situation. Nathaniel, in a moment where we need players like him, that the owner deems Nathaniel as being the best player, Nathaniel, on our football team, not to fumble the football. Nathaniel, it's becoming ridiculous. He's becoming a liability when he touches the football now in games. Because we're giving up the football and it's turning into points, and we don't have room to give up points to other people. Nathaniel,
please have something good.
Jesse?
Please have something good.
And I will respond with the correct answer, and I would not make up any excuses.
The only correct answer is you're right, Jesse Holly.
No. The only correct answer is like you should have told us 3 guys, plus Chris Bean, earlier in the show that we were right, but since you didn't, can I have a chance to respond here in the correct way? All right.
Go ahead, Theo.
You're right, Jesse.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Hey, brother, I cannot have the fumbling. I can't live by it, man. And you know what? And I hope Coach Pete can't live by it. I hope the head coach can't live by it. I hope the offensive coordinator can't live by it. Brother, the one chance we had, you started the coaches to say, "Oh my God, okay, we need to grab possession." And you gave this whole spread of, I don't want to say pandemic, but you started the whole craze, brother. They trying to steal back something, and you can't get on the sideline and look crazy, then come in the game and run like a bull after that. You lost a possession, my friend. So I'm with you. Until he proved that he is the guy that I once knew, I'm just gonna ride this out. Tony Pollard, come in, man.
You know what? What bothered me the most about the turnover was nobody touched him. Like, he was on the way to the ground, and it just slipped. There was no sleeves. Everybody's been talking about the sleeve. No sleeves. It just popped out of his arm. Like, that's just something that that shouldn't happen. If somebody's grabbing it, clawing it, punching it, pulling it, I get it, but it just fell out of his arm, man. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I remember one time.
I'm gonna.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Kurt.
I was going to play devil's advocate here or whatever. I think.
You about to get
disappointed
roasted.
What disappointed me about Zeke was he didn't get the ball enough. He carried the ball 10 times. And if you look, yes, the fumble was awful, but they held him to a field goal. It came back. It was still in 2016. He had run for 6 yards in the third quarter. He'd run for 6 yards in 3. That's when he coughed it up. Then he'd run for 17 yards. That that was the penalty that got taken away. Then he ran for 8 yards. I mean, once Zach Martin went out, they abandoned the running game. And I'm not saying, I know in this day and age you got to rely on the pass, but the past couple of weeks, it'd been more 50-50. It'd been maybe 60-40. This week it was 70-30 passes. And they don't have the talent or the line or whatever. I think they have to be more balanced.
You know what? But and there ain't no defense to the offensive coordinator. Y'all know how I feel about that. But what you can't have, man, I'm telling you, the most important thing in the world is we call it football. And that is the most important thing in the world. And you cannot give up the ball, especially when you don't have elite talent. We don't have elite talent, enough defensive talent, and at this point enough offensive line talent to carry your mistakes. And like I said, I ain't gonna go against Zeke, and I'm not gonna be negative, but you cannot tote the ball a lot for me. And when you do, you got to show me that you care about that football. You can't tell me you care about the football and every 2 games you fumbling in the closest and most needed times of situation. It ain't like we up by 14 points. We down. Are we even? And you tilt the balance. You can't do that. You cannot do that. That's just how I feel, man. That's just how I feel.
I agree. He's got to stop something. Should he only be getting it 10 times? He only got it 10 times.
But listen to this. This is
your star running back. You're paying $15 million or whatever.
Yeah. And I want him to have it. I want him to have every penny. And I groaned and moaned and everything. But listen to me. Once teams see that you fumble, they're gonna go to grabbing at the ball, tugging at that ball, and you're gonna be trying. And now you're gonna eventually have to stop running and start worrying about being tugged on, being hit, being stripped. And now your effectiveness goes away. You don't have, if you had a dominant offensive line where you're going to get clean shots through holes, that's one thing. But remember now, these guys had a loss within the first series. Their 2 started, the third team tackle, and you're 1A, 1B tackle. Because What's-Color can ball. Zach can ball. So that's your 1B tackle because the other guy's Collins who's out. So now you down to the 4th and 5th string tackles on your team.
But we were still seeing some runs. And I guess I agree. I mean, Zeke has been awful. He's hurt him more than he's helped him. But still,
Tony Pollard
I just wonder.
in there. It comes a point
He
where
only
as
had
a
4
coach,
carries.
But still, okay, that's run Tony Pollard. I'm with you. You have to run to stay balanced. You have to run. You have to take the air out of the other team. But
maybe take some time off the clock so your defense. I don't know.
I'm with Kurt. What you were saying is 100% true. But Kellen Moore don't see it that way. The head coach don't see it that way.
But that goes back to when you have things like that happen to Zeke in those moments, and you automatically flash back to earlier this year where he was having 2 fumbles a game after he had the first one. The inexperience in Kellen Moore, your mind begins to almost panic. You begin to almost go into this self-preservation mode saying, do I want to call another run play? I'll go to pass. Because you might just feel safer that way. Once that fumble happens, that can turn off an offensive coordinator, especially one who doesn't have much experience and doesn't have a great history of experience to rely on. This is why I'm screaming, calling for Coach McCarthy to come back and call plays, because it's in these moments when it's imperative. It's so important that you need a some sort of logbook of success, of knowledge, of history, of how to change your thinking in those critical moments. Kellen Moore doesn't have enough of it. And even if what little he has, he's not able to intelligently sift through all those things and come up with the right answer going forward. That is the inexperience that we're seeing with Kellen Moore. And it's almost like PTSD. You see a fumble and all of a sudden you go, well, I can't run anymore because we can't afford another fumble. I got to pass it.
All right, fellas, let's take our last break. When we come back, I want to know, were there any bright spots at all in this game for any of you?
Yeah, you
when we come back. Ooh, I can tell you all about that. Tell you all about that food. We might talk about that when we come back. Hanging with the boys.
Just like all of you, we at Zeke can't wait until we're back in the stands at full strength cheering on the Cowboys and singing along to our favorite songs again. We're using this time to make discovering, buying, and selling tickets to events in Dallas easier. Plus, every ticket purchased on SeatGeek is protected by our buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back or better if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. Download the SeatGeek app today, and when the time is right, let's go. SeatGeek.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com. Proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Grab some OtterBox gear and get ready for Hanging with the Boys. From rugged venture coolers to tough as nails elevation tumblers, we've got what you need to keep your game day drinks frosty and your football feast ice cold. And with cases, screen protectors, and power accessories, you can defend your phone and stay connected to every play. Gear up at OtterBox.com and amp up the fun of every Cowboys game. That's OtterBox.com.
Dear, it's 1908. Don't you think we should get electricity?
And stop using candles to see at night.
It's just electricity lights up the room fast. It's more reliable than candles blowing out, and people seem to love it nationwide.
Well, candles are...
Dear, did you just run into the wall?
Nope. May I have a new candle, please?
Historically, switching to new technology is a no-brainer. Today, it's AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure, and nationwide. Switch to AT&T 5G. It's not complicated. 5G requires compatible plan. May not be in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to SWBC Mortgage Living Room, Frisco, Texas. Don't miss your chance to get tickets to see the Cowboys at AT&T Stadium this season, with home matchups remaining against the 49ers and the Eagles. A limited number of tickets are on sale now. Get yours today at dallascowboys.com/tickets. And, you know, that Eagles game could have playoff implications still, as much as I hate to admit that.
Yeah.
We could.
The Cowboys, the football gods are literally saying we want the Cowboys to have this. The Giants take first place or tie for first place this week. They won 3 games in a row, And it possibly could have been 4 games in a row because they took Tampa to the wire. But they won 3 games in a row. But what happens? They go tie for first place. They lose their quarterback in Daniel Jones. We have the easiest schedule going forward. And Philadelphia is probably about to get boat raced by the Seahawks tonight. It just seems like as much as we say no, we don't, no, thank you, we don't want it, no. The football gods are like here, no, here,
grace.
Please, grace. I'm giving you guys grace in the pandemic. Take the division, Cowboys, and the Cowboys like no, don't thank you, no, thank you. And the Cowboy gods are like, but yeah, it's crazy.
Could still do it. So get your tickets.
Just
go get
Shanna,
them.
you don't get, but you know what? All your chips are gone. You know, you don't get to go back. You don't get to come back in the house. Now you gone, bro. So I don't care what you do. You gone.
Sit on the porch and wait for Daddy.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Keep your boy company.
Yeah, I'm in
Keep
Mexico.
your boy company.
All right, I'm here. You gotta go to Mexico, either Mexico or the Bahamas. I'm going to one or the other. So,
listen, I'll sit on the porch out there with you, brother.
You do what?
Well, I thought we were going to the Super Bowl with the RV.
Nah,
we were till this week. I'm done. I can't.
Oh, now you're backing out of the ride. That's more room for us then. That's more room for us.
I can't do it.
We'll put Chris Beam in your spot.
All right. Kurt, any positives in this game for you?
Well, I guess Randy Gregory, he kind of showed out a little bit, and you'd hope that maybe him and DeMarcus Lawrence can maybe provide a little threat on the outside here in the rest of this season, the foreseeable future, but I realize he's a bit of a wild card, but he had a nice game.
Yeah. Nate, any positives for you?
I'm going to tell you what, man. I wish this dude, man. I'm gonna let one of my dogs bite this dude because this dude is legit. And if he just had any meanness in him, Amari Cooper, if this dude had Amari Cooper, man, I see what you're talking about. This dude is nice, and it all depends on whether he want to play or not. I mean, he gonna play every game, but I'm talking about, do he really want to get out? Because if he ever decides, say, fella, I'm gonna go on an 8-game tear, I don't think anybody in the league can stop him. That's for real, man. And then with that number 88, yeah, them my 2 bright spots. Them my 2 bright spots right there, man.
What about that drop in the end zone?
I don't care. I don't care. He a rookie, and I'm gonna make an excuse for him. That 88 and that Amari Cooper. Now my boy Gallup is what's bothering me. That's his inconsistency is bothering me. But the other 2 dogs, nah. I just need for the other to quit being a pool and come on be a Stafford shot terrier.
Jesse, any bright spots for you?
Yeah, I am getting, and this is no hate towards Nate or anyone else, but I am getting on this Tony Pollard train. Okay.
Wow.
We know, and here's why. I always want to applaud growth. What was the one thing that we knocked Tony Pollard for early in his career? Was the blitz pickup. And you watch this game, this kid,
he has some nice ones. Nice.
He is sticking his nose in there, man. And these guys, we're talking about Chase Young, Montez Sweat, the Allen boys from Alabama. We're talking about 260, 70, 80, 90-pound jokers.
300.
And 300-pound jokers. And Tony Pollard, all of 190 pounds, 200 pounds, at soaking wet with pads on and bricks in his pocket. He has been a force in the pass protection and blitz pickup. So you got to give credit. We know what he is as a runner and as a receiver, and we kept making the excuse, well, he can't get on the field on 3rd down because he can't block like Zeke. Listen, man, if you start watching film and you start seeing number 20, he is Nate, wherever he went and found that dog, he need to take Amari and go get a little bit of that dog too, because he has found. He has said the hell with that. I don't care what happens. I'm going and sticking my nose in there and I'm hitting somebody. And the Amari Cooper first touchdown, the long bomb, the 50-yard bomb, that don't happen without Tony Pollard.
Yeah, that's
he
right.
He picks that blitz up. He picks that guy up. I mean, so kudos to Tony Pollard. He is trying his damnedest to do everything that he can in his power to get more reps. It's unfortunate that the guy in front of him makes a boatload of money and is a little bit better, but makes a boatload of money that he's not going to be able to get those reps. But it won't be because he can't pass block or can't run or can't catch, because he is showing that he's able to do all of them.
But you know what, though? As we go down the stretch, that can't be a reason. I understand about all the money in the world. I really do. And I think Tony Pollard is 10 to 15, maybe 20 touch guy if you can spread it out during the game. You know, but at this point, where we stand, and I understand that the coaches and the ownership may say we still in the playoffs. Okay, that's fine. But you got to let security win. Pollard is not a fumbler. Zeke is a fumbler. You got to let security win. And you can still run the ball 20, 25, 30 times. You know, but make Zeke earn the right to be in that number one spot. Make him earn the right. Don't just say, hey, man, here go $15 million and the ball to put on the ground again. That's not fair to Pollard.
Right. All right, fellas. Good show today. Good opinions. A lot of hot opinions. Jesse, congratulations on getting the distinguished
I like
honor.
That. Shatter, way to hit him in the head, Shatter. Who did
doing it better? Kurt, Nate, Jesse,
gonna get you back for that.
Chris Beam, it's been fun. We will see you guys tomorrow on the Tuesday edition of Hanging with the Boys,
where Wing gets his flavor.
That's right. See y'all tomorrow.
All right, fellas.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!